Welcome to a Telltale Books video. I'm Greg, and I'm here to talk about the next in my Homer Eon Flint series, a story called The Greater Miracle. We are Telltale Books, bringing you the best in literature, literary topics, and graphic design and bookmaking.
If you want to support us, you can find us on Etsy and Pango, where you can find gently used, rare, and even top quality used books.
And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and maybe even that bell to be notified when new videos go live.
Thanks for joining us.
The Greater Miracle is the seventh in my bibliography of Homer Eon Flint, which may or may not be accurate. I think it's fairly accurate. There could be one or two somethings missing from it, but I think it's pretty close. Anyway, The Greater Miracle was published in All Story Weekly for April 24th, 1920. So we're ahead of Austin Hall with Homer Eon Flint. Austin Hall, I'm only into 1919 so far. And this is a novelette-length story. The story centers around a character who is a doctor, last name of Scott. And you gotta remember, 1920, this is coming not long after the big flu epidemic. I think it was Spanish flu that killed huge numbers of people back then. Well, in the story, Dr. Scott, he leaves the country because he doesn't want to catch it, because he does not believe in the afterlife. He does not believe there is an afterlife. So he believes there's only this life, and he doesn't want to die like all the rest are dying from this flu. So he leaves the country. He effectively avoids getting the flu and comes back to the United States to practice medicine again after the flu had run its course. But he gets a patient who is very sick and who is actually looking forward to death. The guy actually wants to die. Scott summons all the man's friends, and the rest of the story is pretty much all these people and Scott and the dying man talking about whether or not there is an afterlife, whether or not there's life after death. And of course, Dr. Scott, he wants evidence. He's not going to believe it unless he has absolute evidence. So finally, the patient figures a way to offer Dr. Scott proof. Not going to spoil it from there. Got to read it to figure it out. This is not a bad story. It's not the best of that time period. It's not the best of Homer Eon Flint's works, but it is pretty good for its time, for its subject, for the market that it went into, pulp magazines. You got some pretty decent writing and some pretty decent characters going on. You got a Twilight Zone style ending, although I felt it was kind of predictable. You kind of figured at one point what must happen, and it does. So a little predictable, but still well done. If you like pulp science fiction, this is one of the better examples of the pulp magazine science fiction that was published back then. And remember, this is 1920 yet. Amazing Stories is still in the future. Still hasn't launched. Weird Tales is still in the future. That still hasn't launched. So these are before science fiction existed. These guys are writing what set the stage for the science fiction that was published by Amazing Stories and Weird Tales and Astounding. These are the kinds of stories that were in those magazines, except the people imitating these stories, sometimes they wrote good stories, sometimes they really missed the mark, and the stories were kind of laughable. So this is one of the better examples of pulp science fiction. It really is. So if you like that era, you like that kind of science fiction, this is a good story for you. I would recommend it to you. So have you ever read The Greater Miracle? If so, leave your comments in the comment section of the video. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? What do you think of it? What do you think of Homer Eon Flint in general if you've read him? Let me hear your comments. I want to know. And come on back. Don't have written down what my next Homer Eon Flint is going to be, but there's more to come. We still got to get to the blind spot. I'll be doing that, where Homer Eon Flint and Austin Hall teamed up. And that one is a fairly well-known science fiction classic. And I'm working my way towards it. And, of course, working my way to get back into my Weird Tales reads. So come on back. Join me for all of that. Got lots more to come. Lots more magazines to come. Lots more classics to come. Lots more non-science fiction to come. And you don't want to miss out. There's lots of cool things. We cover what pretty much nobody else is covering. Sometimes we cover books that everybody else is talking about. Like Samantha wants me to read Assassin's Apprentice. I'm going to read it. I'll do a video review. But that's not really the sort of thing Telltale specializes in. I'm noticing people that are starting. They want to start a new thing of people following them, of discovering unknown classics. And I mean, well, I left a comment on one of them. Look at my back catalog of videos. It's pretty much all that we've been doing. You know, the majority of what we've been doing is stuff that you probably have never read. Even stuff outside the genre. We're going to be, I've just finished reading it, and Emily and I are going to be reviewing David Sedaris's Holidays on Ice. Very different. Not a book I had ever heard of before. Maybe it's really well known to other people. It's not that well known to me. I'd never heard of this book before. This was new to me. And so when Emily wanted to read this, she's the one that picked it. She really wanted to read it. And I said, I want to join you on that. So we're doing that for Telltale Books. That's coming up in about a month. I believe the video will be up, because we don't shoot until mid-November, and then I got to edit and get it up there. So late November, that one will be going up. That's the kind of stuff we do here on Telltale Books. All the stuff that you've probably never heard of, as well as some things that you have heard of. And I notice our highest numbers, our best numbers, our most popular videos are the videos that everybody's heard of. It's the stories that everybody's heard of. Everybody else has already read, and they're watching our videos and they're liking it, and we're getting lots of views. Well, I'm doing all this other stuff that people haven't heard of, and you're not coming to my channel and watching them. So these other people doing this sort of thing, well, I have hope that they will get people kind of interested in discovering more of that. And then I've got a back catalog that you really want to introduce yourself to. You got to watch all those videos I've done, and we're going to be doing more. Ever heard of Frances Stevens? If you have you ever read her novel Avalon? That's coming up very soon on this channel. Not to mention, I just did Austin Hall's Into the Infinite, which has never even been it's a novel that's never even been published as a book. It's only been in magazines as serial. And it boggles my mind why nobody has ever published this as a book, because it's an awesome book. Anyway, if you want stuff that you've probably never heard of, or that you haven't heard much of, or that maybe you read years ago and yeah, you should reread that, you need to watch our channel. We've got all that stuff. We have been doing all that stuff for more than 5 years now. We're coming up on 6 years, and that has been at least 70% of our videos is stuff that most of the fantasy the fantasy and sci-fi viewers on BookTube have never even heard of. So I encourage you to watch us. You know, come to this channel and watch this channel. We've got that stuff. We've been doing that stuff. We specialize in that little known literature that you've probably never heard of. And I've got tons of that stuff tons more of that kind of stuff to go through. One that I'm going to be digging into this week and putting up a video very soon, because it's timely for Halloween, is a story, the first story in Into the London Fog. I love these British Library anthologies. They dig in. Most of them are edited by the great Mike Ashley. They dig in and they find these little known weird stories. It's the British Library Tales of the Weird. They dig in and find these little known weird stories, mostly by authors I've never heard of, like Violet Hunt. Never heard of her. That's the first story, The Telegram. And every story in here is a weird story that somehow relates to London fog. Awesome. I'm gonna read that first story. I'll get that first story reviewed, shot as a video up on the channel. If not before Halloween, then shortly after. And that's the kind of thing we do. So that's what you want to come back here for. Come back to find out about all those things and find out if they're worth you taking time to dig in and read them. Because there's a lot of them that aren't. There's a lot of them that are forgotten for a reason. Okay. A lot of them you really don't want to bother with. And I'm telling it to you straight. I really don't say this is a crap story, everybody should avoid it. I usually find who I think would enjoy it, and I say I only recommend it for those people. So if you're not one of those people, then I'm kind of warning you away from it. And that's what I love to do here. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, come on back for a lot more. I'm going to sit here and keep doing this even if only 10 people watch each of my videos. Who cares? That's 10 people that are enjoying my videos and liking what I'm saying. I'm going to keep doing it. But I would like to see a lot more people joining me, especially since I'm seeing so many other booktubers starting these things where they want to read these little known books. Well, I'm sorry, that's mostly what I've been doing. So what you need is come here. I've already got a ton of that content up. Off my soapbox. Go read something great. Come on back and join me for the next video.